Behold, it's called the bionic, the bomb, the puff, the blow, the black, the herb, the sensi, the chronic, the sweet Mary Jane, ganja, spliff, reefer, the bad, the Buddha, the homegrown, the ill, the Maui Maui, the method, pop, lethal, turbo, tie, shake, skunk, stress, wacky, weed, blaze, the boot, dime bag, Scooby-Doo, Bob, bogey, backyard boogie.
It's the Golden Beach Show. That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Adobe Radio. It is a day in April. That's what day it is today. We are in April 2025. So when they find our records and they're like, when was this? What was going on? We are in April 2025. No third world wars have started yet. Hold on, my dog is crying. I'm going to get ready real quick.
As of right now, we are a world at peace.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Maybe I was just being hopeful.
Yeah, we're not necessarily at peace, but we certainly have not had an official, not like the old ones, the oldie-timey ones. There's lots of suffering going on. It's not, I don't think when history looks back on it, they're going to call it yet that, but who knows where we will be by the end of the year. Just right now, it is April 2025, and that's where the nerds are, and it is for 20 months. So that's cool. We should do a countdown. We should start doing that like on our socials or something. That's a good idea. Write that down. I'm going to write it down. 420 countdown.
Yes, we are. We are officially 19 days away.
Yes, that is true. We are 19 days away from 420. We will be celebrating 420. Wait, look at my cool lighter. Hold on. Oh man, I got ashes all over me. Look, see, ooh.
Look at that.
Yay! Nothing ever works on the first try. It's Vivian Westwood, and it's so cute. And I try to use it every show because I paid too much money for it. Yeah, so it's 420 month. We are counting down. We will be on the East Coast for 420 this year. God willing.
Woo!
We've never been together on the East Coast for 420, and I haven't been on the East Coast for a legal 420 since it was legal in New York. That's for sure. Any legal 420 I've spent the last 11 420s here on the West Coast, which was the best place to spend 420, arguably. But the East Coast has got a lot going on for it. I, of course, spent many a 420 in the city, wandering about. Usually, the times that I went were never like the popular times because I would be like working or something, or I don't know. I would just go like in the middle of the morning. Nobody would really be out yet, but it does get very poppin' in the city for 420. So that's where TS and I will be. We will be out and about. If you see us, say hi.
Everyone is saying that New York City is the place to be for 420 in 2025.
Okay. Well, that's where we'll be. Why are they saying
I don't know. New York's going to show up and show us and let us know why that they are the place to be.
Yeah.
On 420. Prove it.
Well, good.
Be there.
Well, yeah.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
We will be there. I'm excited to feel how it feels. I mean, like I said, I haven't been to a New York 420 since it was legal there. So I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I don't know. Does the vibe feel like it does here? Because here, even like no matter where you are, even if you're not in the industry, it's a very fun day here. The whole city pretty much transforms. Since legalization, it's been like, I don't know why. It's just been a little less fun, but I can't put my finger on why it's been less fun since it's one. I don't know. Has it been less fun since?
Is it because there's so many rules and regulations? They're regulating our fun. You can't regulate our fun. Don't regulate our fun by calling 911.
It's still just no. Well, they don't. So it's still just as. It's not fun on 420. I don't want to say that. It sounds very privileged, but I do feel like from working like in it pre-legalization, there was something about 420 pre-legalization that was just a fun day. You know, I found it fun. A lot of people in the industry are like, "What do you mean? It is the worst day of the year." And I get that. I totally get that. But I never had a bad 420 working in the industry.
I think pre-adult use, when we were allowed to actually smoke in the dispensaries, in the medical days.
Yes.
We had more fun. We were able to deal with the festivities and be festive ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot. I mean, we are seeing like 1,000 people. It is Black Friday for a dispensary, and contrary to popular belief, like being a bud tender, working in the industry on that day it's customer service nonetheless. So I'm not like trying to say, you know, tra-la-la, it's like so much fun. But I do, coming from somebody who, you know, didn't get to celebrate it this way, or coming from somewhere where we didn't get this sort of stuff, like it just, I always felt like a bit of excitement for West Coast 420 pre-legalization. Post is like exciting. It is, but it's also like, I don't know. It's busy, but I feel like it's not as busy for some reason as it used to be, even though the deals are very similar. I mean, it's not like, I guess, how it used to be, but like it's still 420. So I don't know. I felt like the year we went legal, because I was like at the dispensary and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be so crazy. We're all going to die. Like literally, we're all going to get like trampled for whatever, like a $70 gift bag. But like, I felt like it was less busy that year for some reason. And I don't know. I feel like all of the following years, I felt not busy, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think about like the final years of the pre Prop 64 years in California, leading up, and you had your medical cannabis scene, and it was 420, and you were in Studio City, and you were lining up for like a free eighth of Kushco, or it was a free like quarter.
Exactly.
Of
Like
Kushco.
people were,
Like,
it was literally like people were camping out overnight.
Like those things aren't happening anymore.
No.
Like,
and I guess it could be partly because of what? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like that love. I mean, I think the love is still there, but like legally you can't love that much.
Isn't that always the way? Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And I think like you're not going to see less people smoking weed, obviously. Like it's not like the weed business is less busy. It's still just popping. I just think it's different out here. I don't know. You know, like when we were like before then, when people would come in, it really just felt like you'd have like your normal, you know, overflow of people. It's just like a long line. It's a long wait, you know. But that day, just around town, it just always felt a little, you know, like silly. Even though for us it wasn't. For us it was like, it really wasn't. Like I don't want to take away from like how hard bud tenders work on 420, like, and everybody in the weed industry. It's a constant flow. So that's how it is here anyways. And I'm sure in all of the other states that have been doing 420s for a really long time. So this is, New York is in its infancy when it comes to this. So I am genuinely curious how the vibe is. I'd love to see, I'd love to see how it feels, just like the vibe, and I know we want to hit up a few dispensaries, or as many as we can find or get ourselves into. Like, I'm not trying to wait in a really long line, but
line all day. But if there's like a sesh happening,
we'll have before that, but
yeah, if there's a sesh happening, popping up in a park or on some street or in some warehouse or some rooftop, hit us up, because we'll be in the New York City area on 420.
Yeah, we'll be bopping around, checking it out.
We'll be definitely bippity bopping around.
Yeah, we'll be bippity bopping all around town. Probably staying stationary at some point. We'll be prepared. Though, many years, I guess, obviously, because I worked in the industry, I was very unprepared. 420, I'd be like, oh shit, I gotta take home the gift bag and smoke whatever is there.
These free J's.
Yeah. But always go to your dispensaries, because they will have good times awaiting you, and get home and enjoy the holiday, and try not to drive high. Probably say that. This wasn't even what we were going to talk about. I don't know why we started talking about 420. We did want to talk about, T.S. and I, we did something that we've been saying we're going to do since before the pandemic. I bought my can butter machine, my magic butter machine. Definitely. I think I probably lived in Hill Park, but it was definitely pre-pandemic. I'm pretty sure it was. And I never used it.
Yeah, you've had the magical butter machine for a long time now.
A really long time. Untouched, unused, not even to take it out and look at it. The only time it was touched was when we moved, and it traveled with me. I never threw it out. I would never want to. I knew someday, I knew one day it would come to fruition. And TS, put his foot down and was like, we're making cookies, or no, we're making butter. And I was like, yes, let's. Okay, so what did we use? We made can butter. I want you to do a realistic breakdown of if somebody wants to make the volume of can butter that we made, and also what I also want to talk a little bit about what would be good to make with can butter. We made peanut butter cookies and cornbread.
Okay.
And that was tits. And we're going to share the recipes and probably do a video of all of them. So good. So yeah, so the idea of can butter was incepted, and then what?
Let's see. So you've had the magical butter machine for so long, and I came across a lot of flour from Big Pharma.
Woo!
And we used okay, so where should I start here?
Start with how much flour we used and how much flour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the magical butter contraption,
may or may not have had a cookie before we started. And by the way, we'll talk about that after, but they smack. They are ridiculous.
They sure do. We do all of our own stunts and product R&D tasting here.
D&D, R&R. Yeah, so how much weed did we use? What did we had how much weed?
So the the magical butter takes 5 cups of butter is the max. So I wanted to use the max amount. So we had 5 cups of butter, and they recommended 7 Gs to 14 Gs of cannabis for this recipe. So we used the max amount, which was 14 grams times 5 cups is 70 grams of whole big pharma flour.
Okay. So we had that.
70
That's a
grams.
lot. Wow, that's a lot.
That
You
is,
do not need to have 70 grams to do can of butter. You can. What is the lowest amount that somebody can do can of butter with?
It said, if you were using like 1 stick of butter, like 7 grams would be sort of the minimum.
Fair. So if you have an old, like some weed that like, and honestly, like I would, with the fucking economy today, and the price of weed, which taxes are going up literally in every state, let this be your 420 weed. If you get if you get free weed, or you have weed just sitting that you didn't like, that you maybe put aside, maybe there's something like in a joint you didn't, whatever it is. If you get yourself up to 7 grams, that's when it's worth it. Have it be weed that's like on the side. Don't go out and get hyphy and do it with this, because you're going to be doing a lot to this. So go get yourself at least 7 to 70 grams of cannabis and put it on a tray and put it in the oven, and just know that your entire being will smell like weed in your house and your dogs and your sweaters and your hair. Your house, you will smell like weed. You're gonna want to decarboxylate it, right? Decarb it.
Yes, decarboxylation is important.
You just got to do it. I used to try to skip this step all the time because I'm fucking lazy, and I was like, just fucking put it in the fucking whatever. And it is after this, it's imperative. You got to do it. You got to do it. If you're baking, you're baking, bro. Like, just lean in. Don't be lazy.
Yeah, we bake.
Like me.
Do it 100%. And we put it in the oven at 220 for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We bake the whole flour.
The whole flour. We just put it on a tray and we put it in the oven on some parchment paper. And it definitely smelled like weed. And it smelled like, I don't know if anybody has a volcano, but it's like when you burn your volcano, you turn the heat up on it, it does something to the weed where it just like produces the perfect vapor and vape, and it smells like popcorn or like weed laced popcorn. I don't know. It's such a good smell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's like roasting chestnuts.
It was beautifully roasted chestnuts, terpy chestnuts.
Yeah. It was so
popcorn, like the most floral popcorn you've ever popped.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great smell. But definitely weed. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. But I didn't. Just know that like you can't do this when your like parents are out and like they come back and they're like it will smell like weed. So we did that first, and then we timed it so that what we made was butter for cookies. So you heated up some butter, right? Like regular ass unsalted butter.
Well, yeah, we needed to add. I wasn't sure if we needed to throw the actual like solid butter into the mix with the flour. So it's sort of recommended that we melt the butter. So we melted 5 sticks of butter, which was 5 cups, and then added the butter and the flour to the magical butter machine, and let the magic butter machine do its thing.
Yeah. So that was it was like so easy. I mean, it was so easy. I'm sure there's other ways. I mean, I know there's other ways to do it, and I know you don't need a magical butter machine because lots of people do it. lots of different ways. Again, also you will need a cheesecloth. That also is where a lot of things lose me, is a cheesecloth. I'm like, I'm not doing it. But because who's got a cheesecloth? But the magical butter kit came with like the perfect cheesecloth.
It comes with a screen.
Yeah, it comes with a whole ass screen. So that was pretty sick. That was awesome. So it had the screen, and because you do need it, because you do need to strain all the plant matter out, because like that's really important. Again, I was lazy and did not do this, but this also helps like distribute the weed out. Like it's very important for a lot of reasons. So you're gonna you're gonna like squeeze it through when it's done. It's like literally like a rice maker. Like you just set it to whatever amount that it is, and it does it. We heard it make some noises. It took about 2.5 hours or something.
Oh yeah, it was about 2 hours, and it made a lot of noises. It has like a little grinder on it, and it mixes everything.
Yeah, it's like a big thing. Yeah.
Once you got it in the magical butter apparatus, it was, you just let it go. It's gonna kick back. Wait for the magic to happen.
Yeah, you can preheat your oven or something while that's happening. So that goes and goes, and then it tells you when it's done, and then we took it out of its encasing, and we put it in a Tupperware, and then did we put it in the fridge right away?
We made cookies. We made cookies right away.
So we used it right away. It was an ordeal, but we used it right away. And we used a decent amount of it in our peanut butter cookies. Again, we'll post the recipe, but these cookies were strong. These are not, and when you make edibles, like they're probably going to be strong because they're going to be strong. You're cooking, and especially with butter. Butter's like, it hits different kind of butter than a gummy or anything else that you take, really. Can of butter just hits, for me, it always hits different. So, I mean, that's why edibles aren't the same.
Yeah.
If you've taken, an off-market edible, but you try a gummy, it's going to hit different. So, you can do a lot of maths like TS did, and you can figure out what each cookie should be. Because sometimes when you make edibles, like one side is like super strong and like the other side this was all evenly distributed because I think of the magic butter machine, magical butter. So it's helpful if you have it. Because I do feel like all the cookies were about the same.
Yeah, the butter was pretty consistent, I felt like. Also, I think we were probably looking at, according to my calculations, probably close to 50 milligrams per cookie.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think that's an accurate assessment. I would say about 50. So each time that we've hung out, we've been like, we're going to get the shot, because TS had a really funny idea. He was like, yeah, well, we're going to make a video for it. And then, we'll like do the voiceover. And then like the last shot will just be of us like laid out on the couch. And I was like, we'll do that. And like, lo and behold, 2 hours after we eat our cookies, we are laid out on the couch. And like, we never remembered to take the picture. But cause like,
if somebody could animate that.
I wish somebody could see us during this time, because we are very silly and
just laughing at each other hysterically.
Like everything, laughing at each other, laughing at everything, literally just like walking into the room and laughing. Like that is it. Like this to me was like better than like a mushroom edible or like a microdose, when you take mushrooms and you like get the giggles. And to be fair, I haven't had a good mushroom minute, but this was a pick me up in a way that like I kind of didn't even expect it to be. I guess I thought I'd be like super high and just like hungry, but it was very uplifting. Like we just laughed for
the
8 hours straight.
We were so laughing, and edibles aren't even made this way anymore. It's like nobody's using can butter to make edibles. It's all made with distillate, like injected into the recipe of the edible. And that's how we used to do it. We would substitute a recipe, the butter, with can butter, and made these like full spectrum can butter edibles, and they don't. Edibles just don't hit like that anymore. Think of all the beautiful cannabinoids and the entourage effect. And
that is true. I think that's something that I forget as well, is everything's so isolated now and done in that way that for those who are unfamiliar, when you cook with the whole plant, when we used to talk about this a lot, and I'm sure it's the mainstream now, but when you cook with the whole plant or you use the whole plant, you'll often hear the entourage effect, which you see sometimes edibles, modern day edibles, will have like multiple cannabinoids or whatever on them, and that is because they all work really well together. Everything in weed really likes to play off of each other. So when you use the whole plant, that's everything. And that has a lot of properties that do a lot of different things. And one of them is a very, very a very silly mood. Everything is very silly. It really is. Like, because you think about the old days when you see people eat brownies from like the 80s or the 70s. Everybody's always like hella giggling.
Super giggly.
And that's something that I feel like we as like professional stoners, like, yes, there'll be days where I'll take a couple more edibles than usual and I will get giggly, but like I don't get the giggles from weed as much anymore. It's like a very functional, it helps me laugh more, like it helps me through like do those things more. But like, I don't get like childlike fucking like goofy giggles like that really anymore with weed.
Yeah, we were like goofy first time high on the couch after this baking test kitchen experiment happened.
We were. We would just like laugh.
Like high school, we were like totally like first timers.
What did we eat
again?
What did we eat?
What did we eat? After the cookies?
Yeah, I think it was the fried chicken. I just feel like it would have been.
Oh, we got fried chicken.
I guess we did. Okay. Sorry. That was really important for me to figure out. Okay, well, now that we figured that out, you make sure that you have yourself a munchie ready, because whatever you make will probably be strong. We gave a bunch to our homies at Adobe. We haven't heard back yet. We don't know if anybody's tried them. I think they're afraid. We put a big warning label on them, and we were like, these are strong.
Yeah, I gave them to some of my homies, and one, I was like, how were the cookies, man? He's like, I'm afraid. I'm like,
I think people
come
are scared.
on. Don't be scared. Just eat like a quarter.
Yeah, just take a bite.
Eat a little bite.
Just take a little bite. It will. You will not. If you don't do edibles, and somebody gives you a cookie and it's like, this is 50 milligrams, just take a little baby bite. You will be fine. Do not take any more, though. Don't do it. Just see how it goes. Take a little bite. That's it. Don't eat half. Don't eat more. Don't be like, oh, it's not hitting me yet. Just take a bite. And then, especially if you don't do edibles. If you are a seasoned pro and you know what 50 milligrams is going to feel like, personally, I would only do half. Just to make sure, because you never know.
Homemade edibles.
Homemade edibles, sure. Exactly. And it's not the old days, like you get a homemade edible, you're like, what the hell is this? But from your local nerds, we definitely recommend doing this because of every reason. It's been super fun to be able to do it. So if you can make your own and enjoy them in a delicious cookie or a cornbread, since it's butter and this is what I used to do, I just like make everything with it. Like put it on toast, make eggs.
Yeah, because we made a lot of butter.
Oh no, I made those egg sandwiches.
Oh, what?
Yes. Yes. That's what I did. That's what I did. We had the most delicious egg and cheese on the Kaiser bowl.
A little pat of butter, you can just substitute a little can of butter in with where you would use your butter. Even oil for the cornbread.
Yeah.
We just did a 1-to-1 substitute with the oil, and I think that worked out in our favor.
Yeah, those were strong too, though. Those are strong too. In a good way, in a great way. It's so great. But I just want to, like, proceed with caution. And I want you to proceed with, I want everybody to enjoy their edible experience. So often when it comes to edibles, people try them and, their first experience isn't the best. So they want to, they'll never do it again. And that is something that I would love not to happen. And greening out is real. Like that's not, that's not like a wuss thing.
Go easy. And if you ever get anything with our picture on the bag, go even easier.
Yes.
Take 1/4.
We are, yes, exactly. Like if we had ratings, it would be like if it was like 5 weed plants, it would be 5. If it was if 5 was the greatest.
If we were in the old medical X system, they would be 5X.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and 5 would be high. By the way, okay, so make your own weed butter. We just wanted to tell you about that. Just wanted to tell you how it went. And look out for the recipe on our socials, which I didn't even get about. Cool Nerd Weed Show everywhere. We're going to just take a quick break, a breather, if you will, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about something just real quick. Not even that long. We're not going to babble about it for that long. But I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was interesting. And
all right, sit down, light one up, pack a bowl, because the nerds have opinions. Grab your greens and sesh with the Cool Nerd Weed Show on iTobi Radio.
And we're back.
We're back.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's Tess.
And that's Sasha.
And we are on iTobi Radio. Find us everywhere at Cool Nerd Weed Show. Just search for Cool Nerd Weed Show. We are everywhere. We are on the YouTube. We are on socials when they don't shadow ban us, but we try our best. We do our best. We answer all DMs. We're around, and we organically grow our social media. Organic, not accusing anybody of buying followers, but we know the practice is done. It has been done. We're not saying that you did it. We're not saying that you did it. We're just saying we haven't done it. We haven't.
You knew.
We have not done it. We haven't. So, that's something it's worth noting. It kind of pertains to what we wanted to talk about. This is something that we navigate, and it's like an interesting world for us. So we do the Cool Nerd Weed Show, and we started the Cool Nerd Weed Show for a few reasons. One, because everything was changing in weed at that time during the first Trump administration.
Unfortunately, not the last.
No. So that's when we started this, and we just we were in it, and we just wanted to talk about what's going on in like a real way, not kind of product pushing way or a lifestyle way or anything like a vibe way. It was really, we just wanted to be honest about what goes on in weed. And we wanted to talk about honestly what we thought of weed in our reviews and whatever. We really wanted to be real. Anyways, that was what we did. We also, our goals weren't having like big celebrities on the podcast or whatever. The reason we're bringing this up is because Seth Rogan was on Howard Stern as well. And Howard was like, well, you listen to it, so you say what he said.
Yeah. When Seth Rogan was on Howard Stern, Howard was like, you're like one of the only actors that will come out and talk about their weed use. And Seth Rogan goes on to say that like David Letterman actually was asking him about weed off camera because nobody ever wanted to talk about it at all. And Howard thought that was crazy because it could kill your career in Hollywood if you were like admitting that you were like a huge pothead.
Why would it kill your career?
Well, think about it. Think about it like back in the day, like old-timey Hollywood. Like if you had any indiscretions, like if you came out, you were like a weed head back in the day, then the studios would have to do some sort of damage control to like fix your image. Right. And then, depending on how much money you were making the studios, like how much damage control are you worth doing versus like your career just going down the old... I
mean, I guess like seeing weed is just like a gateway drug to all of illicit behaviors is always going to be associated with weed, no matter how regulated or legalized it is. It's always going to be a part of... We do tell people like, oh, you'd be surprised, as accepted as it is, it also is not, especially with like famous people or anybody who has like an image that they want to maintain. They don't want to be associated with weed all the time. And that's cool. I get it. But it's just, it is interesting that Howard said that because we also have been coming across it where we're like, oh no, like this person didn't want to come on the podcast because, they don't smoke weed or they don't like, and to be fair, like we're not a, sports show. We love music and we're on a music station. So like, obviously we will talk about music until our faces turn blue, but a big part of this show is weed, and it doesn't have to be the whole conversation. And this isn't like my press release to like have people on this show. Like anybody's welcome on the Cool Nerd Weed Show. Whether you do or don't smoke weed, I suppose. But, and also I think there's like a level of, intimidation when it comes to like us smoking or even just a weed pot or anything like that. I think people are like, oh, well, I can't like smoke weed before I go on the radio, or I can't, smoke weed before I do this or that. And that's totally cool. I totally get it. Like a lot of people can't, but, we won't make you either. Like, you don't have to smoke weed with us. You don't have to body an entire joint or do dabs or smoke at all. You really don't. Like, we will. And there's no pressure to smoke. But I think like a lot of people believe that if they have been caught smoking weed or they smoke weed publicly or they talk about it, that'll be their whole personality or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but then when you produce results like Pineapple Express and
right.
Sausage Party.
Well, yeah, I don't think he cares about it being his personality anyway. So maybe like that's the secret.
But like
is-
that's it. Like the art of not giving a fuck.
Yeah, I think just like do what you're doing, and let
You've
weed.
already made it
Yeah,
that far.
I mean, I do remember like when I was just doing like regular radio, and I think I tweeted about like back in the day, like tweeted about like smoking when I got home or something, and like one of my coworkers was like, "Oh my god, you should take that down." And this is, I don't know, like 15 years ago or something. And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, you just like never know. It's like you don't want somebody seeing it, and like you get in trouble or fired or something." Like, could you imagine? So that's cool. I mean, we've come a long way. Like, yeah, like on one hand, we have come a long way. On the other hand, I feel like we haven't at all. I don't know. I feel like I'm not conveying my message very well, but
Yeah, there's going to be those success stories, the Seth Rogans of the world,
yeah.
that we can celebrate. But is he really like kicking open the door for the rest of us and like really breaking that stigma that we want to be broken? Not just yet, but in the world of cannabis,
Yeah, Seth Rogen is our Beyonce, but I do I do feel like you're right. I think like I don't know what it would take for the world to not associate weed with a negative thing, whether it's being lazy or stoned or like just like I just feel like, and it's tough because we build that, we build this perception with our own bricks. Like when I do something dippy and somebody's like, "Well, the stoner fucking locked herself out of the house again." Like, yeah, okay. Like, I know that, like, I know. And also, again, I probably would have done this, as a kid as well. But I'm a flaky being, and weed is, of course, like not helping. Like, but also, I think and I think that's a perception that even stoners don't love, like I think like as even a self-loving stoner, like obviously I'm loud and proud, and I knew I always would be, and I got it tattooed on me, and like I just knew there was no turning back with me and weed when I got into it out here. And like I even get annoyed when people are like, "Oh, you think it's because you eat too much weed?" And I'm like, no, I'm just stupid. Okay, I'm naturally stupid. When I'm sober, I'm stupid. Okay. But then again, I couldn't remember what we had for dinner last weekend. So, but I do get like defensive a little bit when people associate me with those negative stereotypes of a stoner, even if I fit them. So I don't know who would be or what would be the defining stigma breaker. Would it be like president? Like, who would it be? Who would it be who could smoke? And then we'd be like, "Oh, everybody, it's okay. It's not bad."
Who that is a great question, Sasha. Who would be the ultimate stoner breaker of the stigma? Who is the person who's going to break all of the stoner stigmas?
It's gonna be us.
You've got here's the crown. Let's put it on your head. We're going to be the ones who break all of the stigma.
I think we do. I think a lot of stoners do. We just don't know about it because
we do.
We're too busy.
We do on our everyday micro influencer stoner, anti-stigma stoner platform.
Yeah, we're doing our best, but this is just a.
But who came out and they were like, people are like, "Oh my god, that's my hero. They're the biggest stoner. They're so productive and they do so much stuff."
I mean, Seth Rogan, I guess, but also like
AOC. Or
yes, AOC would, yeah, but it would be rough because people already like don't like her. So it would have to be somebody who like you have to like
unites
yes.
the nation.
Unites the nation. It would have to be
a closet stoner that unites the nation.
Yeah, like it would have to be like Miss Rachel or like, you know what I mean, like a children's television, like
not Rachel Ray.
No. She definitely smokes weed, but no, Miss Rachel. She's a children's personality, and she's beloved by literally everybody. Even Robert De Niro just talked about her. If she came out and was like, "I smoke weed," that would be.
That would unite.
I think that would unite the nation. Honestly.
Unite the nation and destroy all of the stoner stigma.
I think so. I think that would actually do a lot, because grown-ups like who have kids would be like, oh, well, this lady taught my kid to talk. So like they trust her, and like everybody knows her, you know, like from big to small. Like I said, Robert De Niro, like Robert De Niro is like a very small, like an infant apparently. And he was talking about how Miss Rachel helps put his kids to sleep or something. She's great. I love her. East Coast girl. And she is great for kids. But so she came out and was like, or like, you know, she's like a Mr. Rogers type. You know, like if it was like, if he back then like was like, don't judge people who do drugs. Like he was smoking a doob with the mailman and the fucking train or whatever his character. I think that would also do it. Okay, I think we've exhausted this topic. I feel a little bit better about it, Starseed. Okay, let me just say. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
And we're back.
We're back.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we are huffing and puffing today about, so we are counting down to 420. We are 19 days away, very beginning of April. And already the DEA, the federal DEA, has just started shenanigans, like major shenanigans. So they are literally doing a contest that is quote unquote anti-420 and anti-THC. This is so silly. This is the silliest thing. And you're going to hear a lot about this from us.
Yeah, this is I don't even know where to really fucking begin with this whole thing, but the DEA is promoting a video contest for young people to participate in an anti-420 day on Instagram, organized by the youth cannabis prevention group Johnny's Ambassadors, which when you go to Johnny's Ambassadors websites, it just screams of paederasis isms, allegedly.
Yeah, well, the first thing you see is teens and young adults. Like that's like the first like words that just like jump out at you. And then your boy, like the like on the fucking banner, it's like this young dude coming out of a phone. This is goofy.
It's so weird. So they're trying to get the word out and educate young people on why they should not be using THC. And you know, if you can actually get paid for this gig. It's a paid gig.
Yes. So, okay, just to clarify, like the DEA isn't organizing the contest, but the agency, the agency's website, Just Think Twice, like has been posting about it. So clearly, like they support it. And as we mentioned, like earlier this year, or when Trump got elected, like yes, it was supposed to be rescheduled and so on and so forth, but clearly that hasn't happened, and everybody in the Trump administration does not care for weed. We don't know where RFK is, but it doesn't matter because he's putting it into the DEA's hands. So we are at their mercy when it comes to where we are. These Johnny's ambassadors are doing a social media campaign, so you can apply. And if you have a following, I don't even know. Does it say you have to have like a following? Maybe you're just like a regular. Maybe we can do it.
No, you don't have to have a specific amount of followers, so we can actually
college
submit.
Students would we be able to?
Oh, damn it!
Pass for high school. I mean, let's just like wear our hats backwards and a sports T-shirt or jersey. I will wear a cheerleader uniform because that is what high school students wear, and you can wear your hat backwards and a Lakers shirt, and we'll go up to Johnny's ambassadors and be like, hey, we've got the Riz. And then Johnny's ambassadors will be like, bet. And that's kind of an older person term. But yeah, we will get hired by Johnny's ambassadors. We can fake it. But yeah, so it is for targeting the younger generation. You will get paid, but you do have to talk about weed in a negative light. Like you can't even think good things about weed. They'll find out and they'll fire you, and you'll get in big trouble, mister.
Yeah,
and
you will not get that $25 if you mention all of the good things that cannabis does for you.
Yeah, you can't. You have to say specifically. There's a lot of specific things you have to say, but the one that made me laugh was how THC could negatively affect athletic performances. I thought that was really funny. Like what? Like you're gonna have like the fucking varsity, football head be like, weed is bad, and I know because I tried it and I couldn't throw a football. Like, what do you mean? Like, what a stupid thing.
So yeah, their whole point of this campaign is to interrupt the 420 timeline during our cannabis celebration.
We get one day, for God's sake.
We get one fucking day, and they want to interrupt our timeline.
Okay, well then let me go in and interrupt all the fucking college drinking that goes on. Let me go interrupt DEA when they go and they have their fucking night out in the local bar scene. Let me go interrupt that and be like, drinking is bad and you're damaging your liver and you're probably gonna hit somebody with your car, dummy.
Did anybody interrupt St. Patrick's Day? Will anybody interrupt Cinco de Mayo?
No, of course not. Of course not. It's beloved. But we can't get this one goddamn day. So what we should do, I mean, obviously we'll be on the socials, but everybody really should be posting triple-double time that day because this is so dumb. And we're going to talk about it more as the days go on, and like maybe we're going to do our own, and maybe we'll submit it anyway. Wouldn't that be so funny? That'd be funny.
Oh, I don't want to smoke that. I have a game at state. I have a state game
of football,
of track and field football.
Yeah. Don't do it. You'll get addicted. That's really like honestly, like it's so silly. I can't even like parody it, but we'll find a way. Yeah. If you do this, then I mean, why are you listening to the show? but you know what? We welcome everybody. If you are but if you're doing it as a joke, that'd be fun too. Yes, and if you need to get paid, do what you got to do. But I just find this to be an incredible thing that's happening. We didn't hurt no one like in this way that it should be an nothing. You shouldn't have an anti-420 day. It's so unnecessary in this world of things that there are things to be anti, and weed is not one of them. It's silly. It's silly, and I don't think it's gonna take any legs. I don't think it's gonna matter because I do think that weed is kind of winning in the mainstream, but I don't know in this fucking world, like you said before, in this regimes. And weed was already on shaky ground before we got actual tyrannies and tyrants in our government. Things like this, I feel like, I would be like, haha, fucking jimmies. But nowadays I'm like, ugh, what if I see something like this on my timeline, like an anti-420? I'll lose it.
What if it pops up?
I'll lose my mind. I can't even laugh at that. Cause I can't. We can't be doing this. We can't take 420 away. You can't. You can't have it.
I don't think it's got legs. I don't think it's going to have legs.
Well, we'll keep our eye on it. And if anybody's got the inside scoop, or you're thinking of submitting yourself, if you think you have a problem.
What if we submit the most pro anti 420
I think we should.
ad ever?
I think we
and
should
they're so
absolutely do that.
confused by it that it's really a pro 420, but it's wrapped in an anti 420, much like those tobacco commercials.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah,
selling
totally.
420 through anti 420.
Yeah, we're like, oh, it makes you feel so good.
And you
I
should
want to feel
never,
this way all the time.
ever do it until you're at least 18.
Yeah, until you're at least 18. We will keep our eye on it, but we are not anti-420. We are counting down until 420, and we would love to see you on 420. We thank Adobe for letting us be 420 and letting our freak flag fly. And if anybody from Adobe has tried those cookies, let us know. Don't be embarrassed, because we were really high too. So if you got too high, tell us about it. We want to know. And if you made canna butter, you, dear listener, let us know how that came out too. We'll post the recipe in the video sometime this coming week, and you can comment and let us know how it went for you. We had a lot of fun. I mean, I still have a ton of butter and a ton of dough, so the fun ain't stopping yet. And
Don't panic.
it's organic. And got him.